such an impact. He was beyond anybody else.
I think he's been so important to that hockey team, and he's been a great asset to this game. He's been a great asset to that team.
Pittsburgh fans now had in front of them one of the greatest talents in the history of the sport, and he awoke a passion in the city that made them realize this could maybe be a big league hockey town after all.
Hockey's number one superstar may be Wayne Gretzky, but number two lives right here in this apartment building in Pittsburgh. He's Mario Lemieux, a young man who possibly saved the franchise from extinction. In the early stages of what promises to be a brilliant career, Mario Lemieux has pumped new life into hockey in Pittsburgh. In fact, he's been the savior of the Pittsburgh franchise. In Mario's apartment, Sports Illustrated arrives to take some photographs. Here's a magazine with limited space for hockey, and only the superstars get the full treatment.
You get tired of posing for photographs, having people invade your apartment, take all your time.
You got 2 cats.
It's tough, but I think it's part of the job. I guess when you're successful, you have to be, around all these peoples and take time with them. And I'm gonna have to do that the rest of my career.
Mario Lemieux had become a household name and even a pitchman on TV.
A blazer just like you do.
Come on, let's take a ride in the real thing.
Wow.
He offered the rare ability to promote a product in 2 languages at once.
Au milieu de l'après-midi, Snickers, ça me satisfait jusqu'au souper. Snickers will always be on my team. J'ai beau m'appeler le mieux. Ce que je veux, c'est le meilleur.
In Pittsburgh, the sight of a playground alive with pickup games that didn't involve a football or baseball would have been unthinkable a decade earlier. But times had changed.
I hate that
The
comment.
idea that this was the city of champions was fading quickly.
The 80s were a weird decade for Pittsburgh because I don't think Pittsburgh was feeling too proud of itself at that time. The steel industry had pretty much collapsed. We didn't have the Steelers to be proud of as much because they weren't winning, and the Pirates had gone through some horrible court battles with drugs. I mean, it was just not a good time. So he's definitely the number one athlete in the city at that time. But his team is not very good.
Mario, he was the whole deal. That's why you went to the game. You went to see Mario Lemieux.
Scott Paulson.
In this
Paulson
sport,
and Cram.
you can have a great player like Lemieux, but he's still only playing 21 or 22 at the most out of 60 minutes. So you have to have other players too, because 2/3 of the time your greatest player's on the bench.
Some of us think that in a year or two, you are going to give Mr. Gretzky quite a run for the scoring title. Is that one of your ambitions?
I think it is. Gretzky's got a good team with him. He's got Curry, Coffey, and all these guys, Macy and Anderson. And I think that's going to come in Pittsburgh. And when you have a lot of good players with you, you can get a lot of assists and goals.
That help was coming even sooner than Lemieux expected.
When EJ pulled the trigger on the deal with Edmonton for Paul Coffey, everybody stood up and took notice. Whoa! These ain't your same old Penguins.
November 24th, 1987 is one of the biggest days in Penguin history. That's the day the 6-player deal with the Edmonton Oilers was finalized and Paul Coffey became a member of the Penguins, a situation he really wanted.
And he will add 2 more Stanley Cups.
I was very excited when I got traded to Pittsburgh.
He'll be 6-time winning
participated
Stanley Cup.
in the Canada Cup and saw what kind of player,
Champion
what kind of
Paul
person
Coffey.
Mario was. And when I found out there was interest in coming to Pittsburgh, I was very, very excited.
Well, I was itching to play hockey for 8 weeks, and I was fortunate and lucky, I guess, that the Pittsburgh Penguins did pick me up and were able to work out a trade with the Oilers.
Paul Coffey is the only player in the NHL who's an offensive threat in his